himself just getting it right next to Nino.
One of the three, known as MV3 when they ran with Blacklist International. Also got Demon Kite, number 3 in damage taken per minute next to Detective and Boyet. You can tell it to his Fredrin to stop taking so much damage and dishing it out in return.
I was thinking about Edward and the leadership he can bring here for Aurora. Playing on the world stage in Indonesia is not new for him. But I forget, there's one more player for Aurora that can add to that. It's Light. He's experienced playing with a fervent crowd of Indonesia when he was in MPL ID Season 15 with Bigatron by Vitality. So, with that in mind, I feel like when it comes to two teams with very clashing styles, is mental gonna play a factor? For me, definitely.
100%, and I think, you know, when we're talking about mental resilience, it goes both ways. As much as this crowd is going to be supporting AE and putting pressure onto Aurora PH, if a single play goes wrong, that could hurt AE's odds.
Don't show AE this chat because they already know, all right? It's Aurora who needs a little bit of online presence because in tennis in Dorsinayan, you know it's all Altro champs. Where are the Auroras? They're still outnumbered, 2-1.
Of course, we all know how passionate the Indonesian fan base is, but I'm pretty sure the Filipinos are going to start raking in some votes in the fandom war for Aurora in the chat. But as you see, this is a hostile and passionate crowd in Jakarta as the Alter champs continue to go wild as we head into the draft. Speaking of draft, let's talk about it. Alter Ego. Question is, I feel like a good beginner is, what the heck is Arfi gonna play? Are you gonna see him in a marksman? Are we gonna see him on a fighter? It feels like so far in M7, whatever you give him, it goes well.
Okay, that's a valid question to ask. Given their spotless record, they've played the least amount of games possible for a single team in M7. Arfi's only played Claude, Freya, and CC. Has never touched Ruby, has never touched Carry, has never touched the breakout hero of the later half of M7 so far, Sora.
But we don't know that for sure, right? We don't know if he's going to whip out that Sora in that gold lane. We know that he, again, AE seemed to be ahead of the metagame when it came down to the gold lane specific picks, but at the same time, Rora on the opposite side, with their linear style of play, very fluid motions across the map, really need to find that starting ground, right? That first kick-off to make sure that they can start the snowball crashing down against AE, because that's the only time we see AE actually back away from fights when they're at a deficit.
Yeah, Aurora Gaming PH has shown that it's weird to say, slightly older version of MLBB with having a marksman carry in the gold lane still definitely works. They're one of the few teams that after seeing the effect of Claude in the metagame, suddenly said, hey, let's just pick up Claude in the first pick right away. And they would consistently do that. Freya, Granger, Harith, and Carry are the other heroes that Domigite has played. Not as many fighters, but maybe that will change. That has to change against a team like Alter Ego. As we count down to the draft, sound off in the comments wherever you're watching. What do you think will come up? Because in my head right now, the permutations continue to go. From the gold lane, let's look at the opposite end in the EXP lane. Edward and Nino, to be fair, I feel like they have a similar playstyle.
They actually have a pretty similar playstyle. However, with Edward, there is a certain level of expectation. I need you to do X. Nino, on the other hand, kind of probes that question a little bit more. He starts asking the rest of the teams, hey, what are some of the cooldowns I can take advantage of? What kind of openings can I create for somebody on the team? Both are looking to dominate their lane, both looking to find impact in those team fights, but based on what I'm seeing in the bans, it looks like AE targeting on the Baxia, the Yeet, alongside with the Valentina, opens up options.
I'm smelling a Sora early on.
Oh yeah.
That's what that Valentina is telegraphing, as well as a Farsa. Sometimes you just want to put it out there.
Well, Aurora are willing to give the Sora as they take out the Juicin, available here for Alter Ego, flexible, and of course, they will go for it.
Okay, so they've already got the Sora in hand. No counter Valentina to get ahead in this game. Rora have a number of options to play here. One of them happened, well, I don't know whether the family is going to come out within the first phase or towards the second phase. It's one of the few picks that we don't usually let through as often, but knowing Demon Kite, and also on the opposite side, Yasuke, both are more than happy to get access to it.
I feel like between these two teams, it's Aurora who definitely has to think about the Fanny more. Yasuke has had an MVP performance with that hero earlier. This M7 definitely have to watch out for it. Now, it's the Cho and the YSS. Still very basic standard Aurora. Expecting the Fanny to come through, they already pick up the Cho.
The Fanny doesn't even have to come in now. I think it would be a mistake for AE to pull out the Fanny this early. Sure, Fanny's good, but Aurora's ready for it. I think AE would be best and wise to not jump the gun. And nope, they're going the opposite direction. They're going for a fighter in the jungle. Leomord, they showed this early in the Swiss. And now, after that series between SRG and Aurora Turquie, we know that it stonks.
Yeah, and it looks like they want to play for the earlier stages of the game based on what we're seeing here, right? On the opposite side, Aurora, I want to see how they want to actually maintain control over that mid lane. They've got the Cho, so technically with Concussive Blast, you will be able to get through it without much of a problem. I think the real question is whether or not they're going to target specifically against Light instead of pushing the waves and then looking to invade after. Look to punish, right? Hurt the 2v2.
Exactly. For Aurora, seeing the lineup of Alter Ego, that is ruthless aggression. Aurora can't go PG here. They have to go Attitude era style if they want to. And Cho and Farsa are a simple way to do that through the center of the map. But then you're going to have a power pick for Edward that will have so much impact that the aggression of Alter Ego can be stopped. If not stopped, at least just tempered a bit.
Is Uranus open?
Uranus is still open. It could get banned out in the second phase.
There you go.
Like a lot of the sandbags might be targeted, but
If AE don't ban it, Aurora got away with it. They should get the Uranus.
all right, so the Kalia gets banned though. The follow-up from the side, from AE. Yeah, no, it looks like AE looks to be the one to say, you know what, we don't want a sandbag for the Sora.
Yeah. So I like that for Alter Ego, they've really done their homework against Aurora here. Again, we gotta go back to the first phase of the bans. Taking away the Baksha, that's an old Aurora favorite that became one of their main pieces through their MPLPH Season 16 dominance. The Valentina and the Eve respecting you, and now we were just talking about the Edward pick, taking away the Alice. If you're gonna be looking for something that could disrupt team fights, if it's available for them, though it is slower, if Aurora want to go front to back, the glue is still gonna be an option.
See the Esme going to be banned out from the side of Aurora, and I think at this point, AE just need to get rid. Oh, wait, no. Oh, do they hold up the Uranus or do they... both don't feel very good here. No matter what, I think that Sora's going to get sandbagged and they might have to open up a couple of other options, thinking towards, maybe towards the roam section, but there it is, the Uranus already gone.
So what does that leave our boy Edward? Mr. Consistent still has in the pocket Lapu Lapu.
Yep.
Yu Zhong, one good target so far. And we saw that Yu Zhong is very, very vulnerable in the early game. He can play Arlo, he's 100% with it. I mean, played once.
Final Slash would be good. But Aurora does need a sandbag, I feel like. Arlot isn't really a traditional sandbag. He's the guy that comes out of nowhere Final Slash and he'll buy time through aggression and vengeance ticks. So now they're going to be going for a Demon Kite-centered lineup with YSS being supported by 4 pieces in the side of Aurora. They pick up a Freya for Dominkai. Didn't go well for him the first time we saw it, but now in the second game after that, it went really well.
I think it'll be good here. I mean, no matter what, it's going to be tough, right? If you forget about Dominkai on this Freya for too long, your entire backline, and especially if you get stuck in the middle of a fight, like walking through mud, he's just going to start shredding through you, even if you are pumping out like 10x the damage, just because of how her ult works. But
Gwen, I like the Gwen. AE of Hanson to the front line of Aurora, and here's a online favorite. A lot of folks online, like these armchair analysts, saying, why don't they just pick Mincetar? It stops a lot of the big meta heroes in the current roster of M7 top picks. And here it is.
So many dashes instantly negated by King's Calling. Alter Ego's lineup needed more crowd control, and they got a hell of a lot of crowd control. Guinevere and Mincetar, as unique as it is, I like how Alter Ego closed it out.
Hold up. This also shuts down Vengeance.
Yes.
I see a Freya and I want an Arlo. That's how earlier teams in the Swiss figured out how to make this work. But now you are kind of slowed down. They instead go for the Lapu Lapu, the safer pick.
Yeah, no choice here for the side of Aurora. They've got a decent amount of damage on their side, a lot of bursts, a lot of key components that they can mix and match according to the scenario. I think that AE need to take the more linear approach. Keep it simple.
That Mizzitar looks poisonous to me.
The Mizzitar did not keep it simple.
Yeah, it's not simple, but oh my god, all those dash blocks. As a Filipino, I gotta say, this pains me to say, I'm leaning towards Alter Ego for the draft.
I'm saying AE4, sure.
I'll keep it close to the chest. Until the Mizzitar proves it's worth its pick, I'm saying Rora.
Well, let's see how it's gonna work as we enter Flying Clouds in what is sure to be an electric 5-game series. Best of 5, Alter Ego, Aurora, Indonesia, and the Philippines. Welcome to another chapter to this long story. Mirko and Trex, let's go!
Thank you, Renmar, Gideon, and Leo. It's Trex here with Mirko once again. It's day 2, series 2. Alter Ego facing up against Aurora Gaming. Now, Mirko, they gave their predictions on the draft. How are you feeling about it yourself?
Hey, Alter Ego are very, very lucky, you know? So I think Aurora got this.
I gotcha. The Aurora got this. Just that simple, that easy. No questions asked, no hold bars. Now, when I take a look at the mid lane, I do think one thing. We saw something similar in the last series, a similar lineup in the mid, and the Farza and the Cho seem to do well. You get the rotations, you get the aggression, but we are seeing Alter Ego already trying to push in.
Yeah, this is what they like to do, man. With the composition that's so aggressive, they just want to push the tempo. And honestly, we got to see this already. Aurora Gaming did the same thing to SRG early on. In game number 1, all the way to game number 3, but then it was the SRG adaptation constantly coming in. Yazuke, though, a bit late to go for the orange buff, not going to be caught still. It's first blood for Light.
First blood for Aurora Gaming, very well done. So at this point, Aurora Gaming already capitalizing on the aggression that Alter Ego wants to bring in. Already showing that, listen, we're ready for that. We don't have a problem with that at all. Taking a look at some of the emblems, Warcry onto the Freya, trying to be aggressive. On top of that, extra damage for the items, and a whole lot of movement speed on the side of Aurora Gaming with the Wilderness Blessings. They want to move, they want to be able to respond quickly to the aggression Alter Ego brings.
RP in the bottom lane, almost getting caught. Light again! Jikundo and the Shunpu, but it's just to threaten RP, just to possibly bait out the flicker from him.
So Aurora Gaming still playing it safe. They don't want to force it. They don't want to force their hands. This is your typical Aurora Gaming, not pushing anything too far. We're going to get a slow chokehold on you and just keep letting the gold bleed out.
Turtle number 1 already started up by Aurora Gaming Philippines. Demon Kite free there. Yazuki pops in Phantom T. That's a Purify up by Yue. As Nino walks up, it's going to be the red chip from Demon Kite to pick it up. Demon Kite very, very low. Nino able to flicker in, getting the kill down.
Yue able to find the response though. Nino goes down, but it's a kill for a kill.
And now it's Alec and Hijume cutting them down. Edward Ball in light. Wait, the Dragon with Jikundo brings the kill over to Yue, but Hijume gets a double.
That's a huge win for Alter Ego. They're able to turn things around a little bit, but Demon Kite looking for the possible response.
Demon Kite has a mounted shotgun. This will be the double stun coming in as Goldman rotates from gold lane, and it is given to Demon Kite.
If you want to go blow for blow, Aurora Gaming is ready. They hold about a 800 gold lead, but this is just the start. And one of my worries for Aurora Gaming is they might crumble under the pressure that Alter Ego wanted to bring, but they are answering it head on.
That's the thing. For Aurora Gaming Philippines, we've just been thinking about them playing the fundamental MLBB, playing just a systematic style. But clearly, something changed. They're now much more willing to take those risks. It was already seen in the match against TLPH. There's only one way you can beat TLPH, and it's not just to play that systematic game, it's not to play that safe game. You need to take those gambles, and with the players they have in the lineup now, you can't doubt that they can. You can't doubt that they can execute all of those crazy gambles.
They finally hit their second form, you know? Yep. They finally moved forward. They've come out of the cocoon. Aurora Gaming
took a while.
Is ready to flap their wings. It took a while, for sure. But this is a very different team than what we've seen in previous internationals.
Absolutely.
And if they keep this pace, it looks good.
Alec
play.
Based on the Purify, Nino going to be walking up as well. Now bringing Light over. That's it.
Nothing happens. That's it. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, no major problems. And again, this is what Aurora Gaming want. What I'm really excited for is Edward on this Lapu Lapu. When are we going to see that really come into play in these fights? We didn't get to see a lot of those big backlane divers in the last set of matches. But But now we see Edward on a proactive EXP laner, and you know how much he loves. I mean, listen, he's whoa.
Murphy, oh, he tried to go for the hook before. He pops into King's Calling just to dash out. Light goes over the way of the dragon, but it's actually kind of off. And now it's Nino in the back line.
Up the top side, Nino able to push him away, and now they're going to move on to the turtle.
Yazuke holding onto it. The Phantom Steed already used up now. Aleko in the back line. That's Edward with a jump in. Live with the Kikuno as well. Yazuke's down.
Demon Kite able to take one down. Turtle still up.
Demon Kite picking it up. Now it's going to be the all-in now with the Violet Requiem. But Demon Kite takes him out. And it's Domeng who slices Nino to bits to get a double. Now a feathered airstrike just pounding Arfi down.
That's going to help secure this tier 3 on the bottom side. Like, just to mess with your head a little bit, man. Just to get in your mental.
Next BTR, by the way. My goat! Anyways, yeah, no, Light is just so annoying. Every single time he's on the Cho, Trex, he wants you to make that extra move. He wants to cancel out your recalls. He wants to cancel out your skills. And even if the way the dragon is off, a lot of times that's a feint. That's a setup for something else. And in that case, it was Edward with the follow-up.
All right, in the mid side, Yue and Light continue to control. Alter Ego now, they're at a point, is it time to kind of hit the brakes a little bit? Maybe we can't take them on with a super aggressive play style. Yazuke is 0-3-2. It's not where you want to be on a Leomord. We've seen Leomords do great when they can get that early aggression, but they haven't been able to do that. So now we have to completely rethink our strategy if we're Alter Ego.
What's that going to be? Right now, I guess it's minimize losses. 2,000 gold lead for Aura Gaming Philippines. It's trying to look for those mid-game power spikes. But at the end of the day, this Alter Ego esports lineup is very reliant on a cycle of skills. They need to go in and that's it, right? With the instant or with the straight-up initiation, you need to get a win. Aura Gaming Philippines, they have a Freya that can play it long. They have, I would say, actually, they're the Yisun Shin as well. They can constantly just go for continuous damage on top of the fact that he can go for burst too.
And Alter Ego very reliant as well on all 5 members kind of being together in these fights. They don't have much of a split pushing composition. And when you are in the behind place that they're in right now, that's what you're looking for. Small plays on the map. Maybe you get a tier 3 on the bot side. Maybe you get one on the top side. Something that you can take. But the problem is, if they send someone down, it's going to be a long time until they can get back to the turtle pit. Or the rest of your members are going to all get cut off, and all of these skills, like you said, need to be used in a cycle. Warax does finally get locked in for Yazuke.
Wow.
That's a late first item.
Especially for Yazuke, dude. This guy has always just been ahead of the enemy junglers when we saw him in the Swiss stage. Domeng forcing it out. Now, good dodge away from the hook. RP goes over to King's Calling. Traction pulse coming down, but Domeng gets out and has that flare as well with a recall spam. Now it's away the dragon lock-in. Is that Nino down? Spatial migration with the Valorant in the back. Nino gonna be taken out. Now it's Domeng and Demon Kite helping each other out as Yazuke walks away. But Edward pops in the stun, doesn't go for it. Rora should be able to get this for free.
Rora treated that turtle like it was a lord, systematically getting the kick, bringing the rest of the team down. At least Yazuke gets a purple here. It's the first time we've seen them able to trade something in a loss, but it's still not a great trade.
Perfect turtle for Aurora Gaming Philippines, and they're just going to have this steady build. If Alter Ego Esports aren't going to bring the chaos to them, this is Aurora Gaming Philippines' comfort zone. Ali with a spatial migration again on Yue, but he knows there's a Purify on his hand, so he can't just go all in, and they have to deal with Domeng Kite somehow. Traction pulse there, Yazuke! Try to go for the chase, but Yue is flying, yo.
That's what happens when you're at a 3.5k gold deficit. Even when you get the big plays, you don't always get the kills. And this is what Alter Ego Esports is going to be looking at for a bit now. Taking a look at the items. Minsathar takes up the Scythe. Going to work into DHS next. Is that a DHS coming up?
I believe so. I think he is going to be going
the
for the attack speed build here.
Is it going to be a fast boy?
I don't.
But I don't know if it's going to help. You know, Leo said until we see the Minsathar work, you still got to doubt it. And right now, I'm definitely doubting it.
Yeah.
We haven't seen anything from it.
An all-in onto Ollie with the way of Dragon as well. They just go all in for him, and it works. Alter Ego, we're in no position to help the roamer. 0-3-2, the gold lead now getting out of control.
I would honestly say that Aurora Gaming is the one that's bringing the chaos. Yes, it's organized chaos, but they are the ones that are being hyper-aggressive here. Alter Ego had about 30 seconds of hyper-aggression at the very beginning. They paid the price for it. And Aurora Gaming, once they smelled the blood, they came for it. It's like, fine, we can do this. We can play this. They have the Lapu, they have the Farza, they have the damage, and to top it off, they have this Freya who can also just bully the front line.
So again, for Alter Ego, it's all about the backup plan, which is farm it up. He should be going to be caught going the way to Dragon now as Delman continues the chase in the back, and that's going to be the final Requiem use. Edward goes through him.
Dazuke tries to do something, but it's just not enough.
The Mountain Shotgun catches Nino, keeps calling. They all fall under it, but there's not enough damage to take him down. RP with a 3-man hook, but it's Edward who goes through them all.
They tried valiantly, but it just wasn't enough. Aurora Gaming with the full team white.
Agent Zero, Mr. Consistent, just swinging that sword on Alter Ego, picking up a triple, and now a 3 Lord.
No, for a second it looked good. It looked possible for Alter Ego, but the dreams were crushed in the hands of Edward there. And now, oh Lord, into the hands of Aurora Gaming PH. I'm thinking some towers are going down here.
I think so too. Alter Ego don't have the best clear with this composition. It's a team fighting comp, a composition built to have a lead by this point of the game, to be able to actually dictate the fights. But now it's Aurora Gaming dictating everything. What a read by Doming down below. Knows Alec was there. Alter Ego are getting read out as RP goes for the King's Calling again. Now they'll be able to actually get a kill. But now they're caught on the bad spot as Edward goes in for the Brave Spider. That's a conceal use. Traction pulse, dodge away from by the CC immunity as he goes back in.
Nice Mountain Shocker does land down onto Alec. They're forced to back off.
Lord up top. Alter Ego want to play it slow. They already got 1 member. Now they can try to distract Aurora Gaming Philippines as they clear up these minion waves that are coming at them. And obviously the Lord up top. They are trying their best not to let it charge through. And yeah, they will be able to do it.
Yeah, honestly, Aurora Gaming PH takes this push slow. No major towers lost. They only lose 1 tier 2 on the top side. And this is going to be able to bide a little bit of time for Alter Ego Esports. And from what we saw last time, they do have some pick potential. So maybe that is the strategy. Look for 1 member at a time. Keep yourself in the game until everyone can fight together.
And that's the thing about the Minsathar right now, right? You can't purify out of the King's Calling. When you're in there, you're stuck. You got to deal more damage than your opponents. You have to just go in. And for Domenkai, the fact that he was picked off meant that Aurora Gaming Philippines had to take it slow. There was no other way they would be able to siege with just 4 members with a double fighter composition.
You know, there is also 1 wild card on the side of Alter Ego here.
What's that?
That is the Sora. We've seen teams from, we saw SRG do it, we saw Innocent do it, get savages, even from behind. 1 big power play, once the gold gets to that point, once the items locked in, then the possibilities are there. Can Alter Ego pull it off, though?
Here's the catch, though.
Going tanky.
He's going tank. Nino is an XP laner, and we've seen from the Sora as an XP, it's mainly just, well, Nino actually just walks over Light. Yazuki actually spots Light. He buys the immortality in time as Nino goes in. They know everybody's in the bottom lane now. To the all-in over on Light as Alec rotates as well. Spatial migration dodged away from, and there you go. Light just styling on him up top.
What?
They tried.
They tried.
They couldn't land a skill on him. Light's too good at video games.
That's Sora for you, baby.
That's what?
That's Tank Sora.
That's Tank Sora. Honestly, even if it's damage Sora, I really don't think he would be able to shred Light. But yes, that is Tank Sora, just tickling the choke.
Tickling the choke.
That's Pauldron at least though, but the Backlave on the other side too. So they have a way to deal with Yisun Shin. But who gonna deal with Yue?
Who gonna deal with Yue? You gonna deal with Yue.
What, physically?
Mentally?
Mentally? I don't think I can. Maybe if I compliment him enough, then we can actually do that.
Like catch him off guard. You'd be like, hey, you look great right now, and then bang. You know?
Could be, you know, send those curveballs. Hijima actually picks up the Wind of Nature, and it's an endless battle for Yazuki, who is 0-4, by the way. Again, the stats earlier, Redmar said it, he's #1 in KDA and kills per game, but this game, he's gotten 0 kills, and it's looking like a free lord as Nino tries to look for an opening. Domenkai goes for the poke, RP gonna look for the hook, won't be able to find it now. Yazuki as well pops in a Phantom Steed, but Yue gets away with the Purify.
And the Lord resets at that. Aurora Gaming gonna move back. King's Calling. What's going on with RP right now?
Tried to read Light's movement. He tried to go for the King's Calling. His Light goes in for the G Kundo. He thought he had Flicker, but it's a miscalculation. And now with no big ultimate, they have to give it away. Ollie with Spatial Migration, able to find Yue in the backline as Nino walks it forward and actually gets Demon Kite down.
Kazuke steals the Lord!
And now it's an all-out fight as Isuke still on the horse going in. Ijume! Going for the damage now. It's a pumping forward. Light loses the immortality. Ijume in the back line over on UA, cutting him down!
The bait was in. Ijume with a double kill, making a triple!
And now it's just Agent Zero. Ijume goes in again as the Bravest Fighter coming in against 4 members. What can he do? Edward with the jump. Ijume with the nature. And now it's the sun coming in as Edward tries his best to stay alive. But Ijume gets the shutdown and an unofficial maniac.
It's a maniac in my book, whether you like it or not. The stat might not be there, but Ijume picks up the pieces. Alter Ego Esports just turned the tables. They were behind about 2,000 gold. Now they've got a lead, plus a Lord, marching down.
There's something about them that keeps them going. It's the hunger of always falling short. Aurora Gaming Philippines, on the other hand, though, took that fight despite knowing the Phantom Steed was used. There were so many windows that were closing for Alter Ego, but Aurora Gaming Philippines never let it fully close. They fought while there was a little bit of a gap between.
I mean, it all started with that Violent Requiem, right? It all started with that Nino jumps in.
And now, Valkyrie Descent getting into safety. Domenkai, no Purify. It's Demon Kite up top and Light. Take a look at Light.
Hiding in the bush, ready to pull up, jump about the cut.
Can he do it?
I don't know, it looks like he's gonna be going back to base possibly. Lord crashing in.
Ijume buys immortality as well. He has 7 kills now.
The wait,
Light.
the wait and bait, the shake and bake, the Ricky Bobby. Nope.
Light gets out. Alter Ego have swapped the game around. Now it's them who have the advantage in the structures, in the goal department. We're getting to a point where the goal won't really matter too much. But trust me, those structures will, going in all alone. That's 1v3. Now Edward walking in, Way the Dragon again, locking RP down with Mountain Shocker as well. Edward picking up the kill, now he goes through them with Domenkai. Alec on the back foot, Edward!
Ijume continues to get free shots though. Edward slicing through them.
Can they get to Ijume? No, they cannot. 30 seconds on the Lord. Alter Ego can still breathe, but they have lost their gold lead. Now it's Light looking for the angle again for the G Kundo. They have to give the orange buff away, so Domenkai walks up, and Ijume is able to get that jetpack over the wall.
The airstrike does come down. The Steed comes out. And Aurora Gaming are looking for a tower.
There's a minion and a cannon together. Valkyrie descent to the back line. Ijume no flicker earlier, baited out by the feathered airstrike. Mid lane baser now taken down, and Aurora Gaming Philippines set their sights on the neutral objective.
Here's the kicker, right? Alter Ego, they flip the table, they get a gold lead, they get a Lord, they get so much presence on the map. But I was worried what was going to happen is they were going to push too far. They should have taken that, calm down, claim ground, wait for Lord, and keep position. Aurora Gaming, on the other hand, they do the opposite. They take a quick tower and they leave. Fine, we got what we wanted.
It's a classic Nino moment, but not the Nino of now, the Nino of old. Look at the back though. This is a flanking Freya. Look at it get Yazuki. Look at it get Ijume, who doesn't have flicker. Valkyrie catching Ijume there. He pops in with the nature, buys a little bit more time. The rest of the team goes to the back line as Ijume loses immortality. And now it's Yazuki trying to peel him off. Rose gold meteor from Ijume, but he gets shut down.
Arfi can do nothing to save his team right now. He's shredded away.
Now it's Demon Kai looking for the chase on Alec. Goes through him like he's just, oh my goodness. Immortality down is in the mid lane. It's a big fight going on now. Who's going to win that one as Demon Kai gets a double kill, and in the mid lane, it is Nino taken down, and Aurora wipe Alter Ego out.
There is nothing they can do at this point, Aurora Gaming.
It is all over for game number 1. It's the start to the best of 5 that the Filipinos would definitely be happy with.
We saw some push and pull, but in the end, Aurora Gaming met chaos with determination in game number 1 and kept it clean.
We thought it was going to be fight fire with water. They said fight fire with fire, but even hotter fire.
And a little bit of water.
A little bit
of ice. Aurora Gaming brought the full package.
A little bit of dirt as well.
A little dirt in their eyes. Sand in their eyes. Remar, how you feeling about it?
Guys, we're well past September. Why bring in Earth, Wind, and Fire? What's with all the element talk here? But my, oh my, Aurora Gaming PH. I have a question for the panel. Is Edward still even human at this point?
Oh.
What the heck was that, Edward? That was one of the craziest individual performances I've seen on the Lapu Lapu.
There's a reason why even the coach of Team Liquid, Coach Tic Tac, when saying, who do you think of when I say Lapu Lapu? He says Edward.
For understandable reasons, man. Like, can you imagine being in Hijume's position, understanding that he must not lose his stacks on the Skypiercer, forced to early swap out his items in Winds of Nature just to survive in a 1v3 scenario against a full HP Edward? How crazy is that?
That is economic suicide. Legit, he lost so much gold just to be able to make up for it and to survive the force of nature that is Abunjingjing. That's the one nickname that they missed out on.
Yeah, practice beats theory. A game theory about this Mizithar. Again, it was high concept. You saw the vision. We were scared of the vision. But when it came to the execution, I don't know how many reps Arfi has had on this Mizithar. But I'm sorry, it was glaring. It was there. We saw what happened.
This Vincitar is the room until today. Like, it's still not good, right? The movie's still not good. Oh, hi, John. You know what I mean?
Hi, Mark.
It's still not good, so until it is.
I mean, I bet for viewers out there, you're throwing spoons at your screen right now. I mean, it feels the exact same way when you miss out on really important mechanics that honestly could have changed the laning phase for him had he landed the spear into the King's Glory. And that could have changed a lot of things for the rest of his team members, because let me get this straight, Aurora Gaming, PH, their basics, their fundamentals is rock solid. They figured out extremely quickly, wait a minute, this aggression is coming without no information, so if we just put bombing in the right place at the right time, it's over.
One might say masterful. And here's the thing, it's not just Light who's now able to find those weird angles. Domenkai showed us a little bit of flanking as well, and that's lethal in the hands of a hero like Freya. Our MVP for this game is none other than Edward himself.
6, 2, and 10 on this Lapu Lapu. And in the few King's Callings that looked like it would be a massive threat to Aurora Gaming PH, it was Edward saying, hey, I'm free of it, and I still got my Landshaker ready to go. I'm saving my Flicker for the counter set, and I will get it. 6, 2, and 10. What he also did in the mid lane after what was the eventual wipeout of Aurora at the center, Edward buying time actually was great for Aurora. Instead of falling back, that meant that Alter Ego couldn't get as many turns as sooner as they could have.
I mean, honestly, what really stands out to me from Aurora, and yes, you did bring up some good points, because it really does come down to the positioning of where these fights were going to occur, because AE did not care about choke points. They were caring about how much impact they could get out of their plays, and that costed them so very much. And I'm going to make an argument here. Again, so many good moments where you're catching multiple people, but it's not inside the King's Calling, and that's something that they need to be really hyper aware of.
And I think that's a major symptom of Alter Ego's draft. I'm not so sure if there was enough time or space for our casters to cover it, but now in hindsight, my diagnosis is this lineup requires way too much of a 1-2. It requires too much of a, as Trek said, the shake and bake. You can't have a Ricky Bobby without Kyle Not on Shooter. So how do you find the combo when Aurora is so busy being in your face, dealing this kind of damage, setting up these flanks? And I'll tell you now, AE had their moment, but if it wasn't for Nino jumping up and, you know, scooping himself up on a silver platter up there, would be a different story.
Yeah, the jump by Nino was questionable at best. Here you can't fault our Alter Ego, because this was just really great positioning by Domenkai. You know what this performance of Aurora reminds me of? Not the Death Ball RSG Philippines, but the RSG Philippines that love to flank. If it's not Light, it's Eman back in the day. And now it was Light and Domenkai, but this time on a fighter as well. So it's good to see Aurora channel back to some of the roots of where these players came from, those playstyles. And that was, again, to call back to the history of MLBB esports, one of the beautiful things about the old RSG Philippines was that, yes, they have this structure, but sometimes when they get out of that structure, it's actually so annoying to deal with, because you have no idea where the biggest threats are coming from.
Exactly, and that's why AE needed to get an early lead in the laning phase personally. Like level 5, level 6, they should have already been able to consecutively win multiple fights, but I think that what Aurora had ahead of them was the fact that they had future sight, right? They understood we're playing Flying Clouds. If you want to capitalize on our jungle, well, good luck. We're going to make you pay the brass tacks, and we saw that happen on multiple different occasions. Now, when AE loses that tempo and loses the ability to say, hey, we fight here, right now, that's when you see Aurora play push and pull with the Lord, because that's the only place that they could fall into the King's Calling and die.
And I think this is what started in the early game. Other Ego wanted to take resources away from Demon Giant and Aurora. They had Aetherize. Aurora had the counter spell. They answered the aggression of Other Ego early on and stopped them from taking resources.
Thinking about how this could have been different, if there is something I might say about Alter Ego, I like Nino's XP Sora. This is a tanky Sora. Say what you will about it not dealing enough damage to take down even possibly the easiest, well, I don't want to say easiest target, but an important target, a premier target in Aurora's Cho, the hero that Light was using to really annoy and check range for AE. I think there's a place and a time for a tank Sora. I can appreciate it, it's just not this lineup, not wherein you need to perfectly get that Torrent Thunder kind of juggle, where all the heroes are also kind of thinking the same thing, like, where do I find the perfect King's Calling? Do I call Barbiel now? Do I jump in with the ult? Should I traction pulse here? Should I jetpack away? It's just a little too much mental load.
Yeah, it was too complex, I guess, for Alter Ego. With the draft, they decided to show up. Again, if you look at it in the sense of if everything falls in line, Aurora Gaming Philippines is not going to have a good time.
I don't know about whether or not this is what you guys are mentioning as in, oh, it's too complicated. It's not that complicated. You just have to press a bunch of ults on one guy, right? It doesn't even have to be 5 people. If you do it just to one person in the earlier stages and play towards the gold lane rather than fighting for these neutral objectives when you clearly can't have control over it, I think that's when you put Aurora in a hostage situation and then you have to negotiate.
It's the equivalent of watching Interstellar when you're EP. Like, I just want a movie to fall asleep to, and you decide to watch Christopher Nolan's Interstellar. And
yeah, at that point, Alter Ego just needs to bring out Rush Hour, man. Something that is great, might keep you awake, but you can fall asleep to it because you've probably seen it like 100 times. And something we've done 100 times is thank our friends. And we're never going to get tired of thanking our friends. Of course, the real me. You guys keep taking it away from me. I can never get my hands on it.
It just appeared in my head. I don't know. It's pretty crazy because check it out. The AI insights from the Realme 15 Pro, it has a win rate prediction. It can analyze the gold, items, everything in real time. It's like having a strategic coach in your pocket. That's the AI gaming coach for you. But it doesn't stop there. When the fight breaks out, its consecutive skill features lets you unleash a perfect pre-set combo with just one tap. It guides your strategies and elevates your execution. That's a full AI-powered edge. From predictions to performance, it's the complete package. You play, we carry. Realme 15 Pro M7's official gaming phone.
Yeah, get your hands on that phone now if you want to excel in your games. If you want to play pro-level style MLBB, get that. But, you know, maybe you're going to need to purchase it first. Why don't you get Visa with you? And of course, we got our wonderful friend V back here on stage. I am not V. This is V.
Yeah, over here.
Okay, there you go. That's the mascot.
Right here. This one. Get a zoom on in this one. All right. Meet V, our cheerful little buddy. All right, there you go. Surprise! He's here at the M7 World Championship to cheer us all. Ain't he cute? Sometimes we call him V-chan because he's very kawaii. But when you know V is fluffy blue card-shaped entity, none of that matters. Sometimes he even gets mistaken for a cloud because he floats and he's everywhere. Bring V's vision of being everywhere you want to be with his playful energy. V is here at M7 to experience the world of gaming and esports alongside all the amazing MLBB fans. He's here to cheer on every team, whether they're winning or they're losing. And remember, with Visa, stay fast, stay secure, be the champion you want to be. No, wait, be the real MVP.
That's V for you. I want to hear a quick little thing from V. So V, what do you think about that first match? Brother, that first match was something else. I can't wait to see what else these two show. Yeah.
Thanks, V.
I love how V sounds like that now.
Yeah, he sounds like the macho man himself, and he honestly has a lot more strong opinions than I thought he was. I thought he was supporting both teams, whether they're winning or losing. But if we're talking about winning and losing, you have to look at your friends deep in their eyes and say, hey, the MLBB Rising Open or the MRO Season 5 is coming back. It's still open for everyone and flexible to join. So now, with major upgrades, earn hero power from victories based on your weekly champion rank, and team up with friends to form a 5-player team to compete. Rewards are stacked. Win or lose, earn MRO coins to redeem permanent skins, exclusive avatar borders, and more. Climb the weekly championships to qualify for the championship. Win bigger prizes and keep the M7 passion alive.
All right, in and out of the game, we got the great events coming at you, of course. I mean, you also have the carnival here in M7. You have M7 itself, everything happening in the game. So a lot of excitement. And that was an exciting start to this series, dare I say. Even though it was a little bit more Aurora Gaming PH-sided, we did see some crowd hyped up moments for Alter Ego with that turnaround that they got. But again, a reminder for Alter Ego, when you're going up against a team like Aurora Gaming PH, you cannot get too overzealous thinking if you're going to get a great set. If you're that close to the base, with Aurora having the lead, you cannot take that jump.
I love how early on in this series, as we learned like 3 or 4 games into the first, a single mistake is punishable by a wipeout and game loss. That is the consequences of playing in the upper bracket and, you know, playing at this level of MLBB esports. Like, again, 1 match away from locking in for the grand finals after you win this.
It's a higher standard that they're playing at, and that's something that all teams need to keep in mind. There's no underestimating your opponents anymore. You really have to take advantage of the small things that are happening in the game. But I feel like AE, they're hungry for it. That's why everything is so messy.
Yeah, that's the first game they dropped this M7 World Championship. Alter Ego, the second place team coming from Indonesia with the hopes of a country looking for glory on the world stage. I want to hear more about their story, so let's watch this together.
Hoki, ya hoki simpelnya beruntung kawan-kawan. Jawaban template dari para pro player, kebanyakan pro player di Indonesia ya. Jadi kalau ditanya kenapa tadi bisa menang, hoki.
Cuman kan namanya AE mode hoki ya, jadi ya kita lihat dulu sih hokinya gimana sih. Cuman kalau gue pribadi gue berharap banget soalnya Indonesia menang maupun AEK maupun Onyx sih.
Pertama kali harusnya pas di final sih, karena pas Alter Ego dapat tiket M Series, CEO-nya bilang itu hoki.
Kita tuh playernya gampang besar kepala, jadi kayak kita habis menang, kita egonya tinggi kan pasti. Nah jadi sebisa mungkin kita bilang itu hoki, bukan karena kita jago gitu.
I think my player is kinda unique. We can say like anomaly, a lot of anomaly in our team. Yeah, different personality, weirdo or anything. It's hard to explain. Yeah, so it's kinda tough.
Khusus Alter Ego, jangan dipuji. Pokoknya dia hoki. Alter Ego masuk M Series, hoki. Di Swisted, hoki. Menang 3-0 dari tiap matchnya, hoki. Hoki harus dibarengin sama skill dan pengetahuan tim Alter Ego juga.
Menurutku setelah mengalahkan Onyx, kita itu 50-50. 50 luck and 50 skill.
Yang gue lihat sih ya mereka lumayan beda lah sama yang kayak di Grand Final MPL kemarin lah. Mereka lebih disiplin, terus dari draftnya juga unpredictable. Di M7 ini kayak dikit lah mereka blundernya, terus kayak mereka tuh berani banget perang-perang gitu sih yang gue lihat, kayak tanpa ragu, kayak pede banget gitu.
Mereka kayak berapi-api lah, pengen banget internasional juga, apalagi mau juara, mau balas dendam juga ke Onyx, sama mau buktiin lah, pengen banget membuktikan diri mereka tuh jago.
Emang kompetisi tuh hoki, jadi kadang tuh ngumpul punya pemain terbaik atau tim terbaik belum tentu juara gitu. Jadi belum tentu juga bisa qualified ke M Series. Dibutuhkan hokinya. Cuman kalau AE ya hokinya ya tahu tinggi aja sih.
Semoga kita semua, apalagi terutama yang bermain di panggung M7 ini bisa memberikan performa yang terbaik, khususnya buat Nino. Jangan kecewain gua, No. Apalagi Kodel, Win. 2, 3. Semangat buat Alter Ego.
Buat tim AE, lu pada main sebisanya kayak biasa aja dengan lepas. Soalnya lu menang juga tergantung hoki. Betul. Betul ya? Siapa kita? Alter Ego. Siapa kita? Alter Ego. Alter Ego. Hoki, hoki,
Gotta appreciate Alter Ego and the Alter Champs embracing what could have been ammo towards them. They just said, yeah, hoki man, we're lucky.
But you know what they say about luck? Luck is when skill and opportunity cross. And again, with a loyal and rabid fan base such as the Alter Champs behind them, again, we're throwing back to Singapore, early 2021. Again, 5-6 years ago, wherein Alter Ego came up to the world stage, and if I'm not mistaken, Alter Ego was then Brenny Sports, who would then become eventually the champion's biggest rival.
Yep, it was one of those few matchups that you just couldn't wait to watch happen. But they also didn't have the Alter Champs in the arena to support them, so this is why we're seeing such a different side of Alter Ego. The many faces, of course.
Yeah, so which face, which mask do we get to see this time around? There are 3 masks, and maybe if you play around with the masks a bit too much, it might just end up becoming a sweep. So the first mask apparently was Minsithar. What's the second one gonna be?
You know what? I think even that game had several masks. I'd like to consider the Guinevere as another. There's a few other safe, quote-unquote, roamers, but instead they went straight for the one that had the good 1-2. But if you can't catch the 1-2, you're kind of left there dying often. So I dare say, stick to a max of 1 cheeky mask.
1 cheeky mask? I don't know, because it feels like if you have 1 cheeky mask, people like Light, Domenkai, or Demonkai in this particular case, if he happens to get a utility jungler, is looking to disrupt the Trigger Man in the first place, right? Anybody looking to initiate usually gets gunned down by Yue. I think that's why AE is making sure that they are looking for diverse angles to kind of keep AE on their Aurora on their toes, right? Look at your back, look in front of you. You don't know which way it's coming from.
So it's Gila or nothing. Oh, that sounds dangerous.
Hey, that sounds lucky to me.
Well, going up against a team like Aurora, how Gila can you get up until you reach that boiling point of can you actually stop this team? We did see shades of hope, though, of course, from Alter Ego with what they were able to get in terms of wins within the game, but they just could not get that big win to completely turn things around. Actually, no, I have to correct myself. They got that win, but then decided to get greedy and get another win, which eventually got turned in front of them.
Yeah, and I think if anything needed to change, it's just the fact that the cycling of their abilities, their ults take forever. I mean, this including Sora, but Minsithar, for an example, Leomord as well. There's a decent amount of waiting time.
Traction Pulse.
Traction
Pulse. You miss,
yeah.
you miss just kind of left out there.
He's gonna wilt eventually, and that's why whenever we see Aurora take these fights, just look at their ults real quick. Look at how many resources they actually still have. They're hyper patient because they know AE usually is the one who likes to try to stretch out the rubber band.
Yeah, and that's something we have to credit Aurora for. Again, they always had those extra battle spells, that extra bit of dash, or that sudden crowd control ability that they were holding on to turn the fight later.
And I think they have one more ace up their sleeves that we don't count and you can't get in the draft or in a pre-game prep, is those weird angles. More often in game 1 than AE could have, Aurora just had this weird way of getting behind them. I think if Alter Ego invested in a hero or heroes that could get more vision more reliably, then they can avoid that. That's definitely one way that they lost this game. If ever, that was the way they legit lost this game, via that flank by Domenkite.
Yeah, and it's not just an Aurora thing too. I think it's a Filipino thing wherein we always have an ace up our sleeves ready to swipe a victory for ourselves.
Well, then that's why you have the 2 differing teams from the Philippines, TLPH and Aurora PH, where Aurora is the one who plays standard and TL plays, as their name goes, like Liquid. You gotta flow, you gotta make some preemptive calls, and they realized that AE was doing that 9 out of 10 times. Let's take advantage of it. Come at us. We already have that flank angle. But now AE, if they're going to try and take that initiative again, they need ults that come back up quick.
It's our showtime.
We go into broken walls, hence why still Alter Ego would want to ban out the Baksha. That would have been extra more annoying to deal with. While, funnily enough, a hero that puts up a wall for himself, well now a rampart, in broken walls, is actually one of the best heroes for this map. So that's a good ban here for Aurora.
Well, they also get rid of the quad. Oh, Freya on the red side. Does that mean that Aurora wants to kind of keep AE in check here? I mean, it feels like no matter what, it's going to be like the Sora opening, but Valentina this time is still wide out.
Ooh, I like how Aurora's approaching this, because again, they're forcing AE to make a different move. We beat your Sora, even without Valentina. What else is left?
So it's still going to be a Sora for Alter Ego, or are they going to switch things up around? Switch up the mask that they're wearing.
Okay.
Go for a little bit more standard. Eve is open.
Kalia is open.
Kalia is open.
Ooh. You know what? I like the former. I didn't even notice. Go for the Eve.
Yeah. Considering that they banned the Claude, it makes sense. There we go.
Really nice.
Gotta be.
Really nicely done. Now the question.
Or answer with a Yi Sun Shin Farsa?
I don't think it's a bad idea, but at the same time, you could be looking for options like Kalia, for an example, for light, and then after that, get the Yishin Shin and kind of, you know, let AE develop their draft a little bit more.
So Farsa Kalia. So you get that combo.
Yeah. I feel like Farsa, I think, is a solid base to hold on to. But it's not going to be that. They still go with Cho YSS. Similar picks for Aurora as the last game.
And I'm thankful because there's so many times when we see Light get his hands on the clear, it's like all or nothing. But with the Cho, there's a little bit more leeway with getting in and out of the fights and really positioning yourself well. Now, AE on the opposite side, we have access to the RWM. We're not going to go with the Kimmy, with the Sky Piercer. We're going with Leo Mort, on top of actually having the Hilda as well to try and disrupt Demon Kite in his jungle pathing.
Yeah, I like the readjustment here by Alter Ego. Same idea, but this time a different picture. Hopefully not too cheesy a pick for RP. They can go a little bit more solid here depending on the picks of Aurora. I mean, the Harith is still an option because it pairs up really well for an Eve, and you have a Leomord with it already, so you don't have to worry about it being the only carry.
And I also like that there's less stress on Alec. He played the Guinevere in game 1. I believe his record was 0-5 and X. So now with the Hilda, same with the Cho. Even if you're not winning and you're not as aggressive, there's a lot of things you can do. Provide vision, check in on certain lanes, maybe even threaten a kill if you have just as much economy to build the Fury Hammer casually in the mid game. I think this is a good start.
It's a good start for both sides, but I feel like right now AE is a bit on the back foot, right? On the second half of the banning phase, I'm expecting a couple of things. Like Rora have kind of set themselves up for a potential double fighter lane. AE, I feel like they want to lean back into a traditional marksman for Arfi. That's one small synergy if he goes for something that's physically inclined. That way he can take advantage of the armor reduction from specifically the Hilda. But then it's really awkward, right? Because let's say he takes Granger. Oh no, there's Cho, I have to take Purify, and that's an easy Harith on the opposite end.
Interesting decision here by Roar. They're still thinking that this Hilda could suddenly go into the EXP lane for Nino, as they still ban out the Kalea.
Not the worst.
Well, it makes sense because they haven't revealed what Edward's playing too.
Yeah.
So they just want to be open to the possibilities. Yeah. Are they going to start attacking gold laners? Both teams.
Gonna be
no.
So the Uranus, actually the Uranus would have been perfect here for Aurora. So another good block by Alter Ego. Still, they could lean towards Edward getting a dive. Still get the Lapu Lapu even if he can.
I mean, yes, he can still get the Lapu Lapu, but what would be the cost? Does it mean they have to get rid of like things like Esmeralda?
It is gone already.
Oh yeah.
Alter Ego banned it earlier.
What else can they go for? Glue maybe? No, that's not going to be enough. He's definitely wanting to go for Lapu Lapu, which means that Nino is thinking, how do I get to the back line? I mean, he can still play Yuzong, worst comes to worst, right? Yeah, good ban on the Khalid, though.
So it's like they're shoehorning this Hilda into the roam. Which is why they banned out the Kimmy here. Yes, we saw the Kimmy versus Laymord matchup earlier, and it did not fare well for Aurora Turquia, but those were different elements. They had a Cho on the other side. This time, if it is a Hilda forced into the roam, the Kimmy would be great because you could slowly pepper down her health and then force her back. The Arlot, this was actually a very good read by Alter Ego. Would have messed up the more honest approach that Alter Ego has drafted so far.
So they're more willing to run themselves into the Lapu Lapu.
Yeah.
They're looking at Aurora saying, let's do that again, Mr. MVP. Let's do that again.
What if it ends up becoming a Alice for Edward as the last pick if Alter Ego's damage profile isn't right? The Claude's already gone. Now they have the Harith as well. Wait.
Oh, yikes.
There's going to be a Phoveus for Alter Ego if ever.
I mean, there's a really good reason actually, the Phoveus, don't get me wrong, but I feel like at this point, unless AE is willing to make that pivot, it really depends on Arfi right now. Looking at the gold lane, it's like, hey, sir, you either play a fighter and maybe win the lane, or you get the Granger and you're going to get dove like almost 100% of the time.
I think the Granger Eve with a Hilda, Laymord, and theoretically a Phoveus is a good front.
Yeah, even if that is difficult for the Granger, they need the extra damage support to make this Leomord count.
Yeah. The lane ward is going to be the sweeper. Okay, they get the Yuzhong in the EXP lane.
And there it is.
And then there's the Granger. They don't go for the Phobius. They want a little bit more crowd control and high impact. So they go for the Yuzhong. Last pick here for Aurora.
Which I like. This fits the Alter Ego playstyle. I don't want them to go 50-50.
Yeah, but now I'm really vibing with the Alice, but that's a lot of magic damage. You might need a bit more physical.
Well, honestly, what else do you have? What other options are better, right? We need something that's tanky, that can peel, that helps like 3 of our squishies on top of our initiator, who isn't considered to be the tankiest in that role.
Alice or Lapu.
I lop back to Lapu, just get the DR when you can just go Alice and have like, oh, I'm never gonna die.
But it's gonna be Aurora.
It's a question of like that early to mid and the the damage profile. So it's all in on Demonkind. That's it. That's the only physical that they're looking for. But I'm afraid that this demands too much economy.
That is actually a good point. What if Aurora doesn't even get to the point where their own Alice is going to be a problem? What if Alter Ego ends up taking control of the early game? But they do have a Cho and Kimmy, so vibe here. Which lineup are you guys going for?
My vibe is leaning a little towards AE because this depends on their laning phase. If their laning phase doesn't go well, Aurora will take full control.
They have the timer, the 0 and 2 under 5 minutes timer on the Yuzhong. So with that said, I'll be a little more optimistic. Maybe Aurora's got this.
I'm leaning towards Aurora, but I'm watching out for Arfi on that Granger, man. He was a menace with it through MPL Indonesia Season 16, then he might show the world and let the world see him on that Granger. Game number 2 of Aurora versus Alter Ego. Mirko and Trex, how you guys doing?
We're feeling good. We're ready. Aurora Gaming start things off 1-0. Alter Ego now need to make a statement to try to even things out, Mirko.
Yeah, think about the Granger on RFA. It got to a point where me and Sheffin started calling him the Granger Merchant. Then he pulled out every random gold laner you can think about, the Uranus goal, all that, and we were like, forgive us, Arfi. We were not familiar with your game. So now that he's back on the Granger, it's actually interesting. Are the fighter goals just not working after last game? They tried the mid-to-third. Was that too loco? Because Arfi, he's definitely still got it! Almost a solo kill. Doming having the flicker early.
Speak of the devil, Arfi already making plays on the Granger. Now, I really like this Hilda. I think this is something that's going to give Alter Ego the ability to be as aggressive as they wanted to be last game. They can get into their face, they can steal camps like what we just saw, and it's going to give Yasuke the freedom to also move into enemy territory.
Yeah, just look at the winning lanes. They were already talking about Alter Ego, definitely, oh my goodness, even down below, Nino with the Petrify. All-inning Edward, forcing him back. At least Demonkind will be able to go up top to cancel out free gold crab take for RP. But again, for Alter Ego, now they have 3 winning lanes to play around.
Yeah, I mean, 3 winning lanes, a winning river, a winning map at that at this point, and it feels comfortable for them. This is what I think they wanted to bring last game, but they just didn't have the draft. I like the YZ pick as well. It's going to work great with this RWM later on in the game. I mean, they have this death box that they created. It's dangerous.
Going to go all in onto Demonkind, but has the trace, so he pops it.
They created is dangerous.
Gonna go all in onto Demonkind, but he has the Traceless, so he pops it in, gets away with the Mounted Shocker, but that is a free XP crab over onto Nino, and that gets him level 4, as now this really should be a free neutral objective for Alter Ego. Yisun Chin was already down, he was too low. If he comes around here, Nino just pops into Black Dragon, and then it's cooked. It might even be a free purple.
Try to convert it into a purple for sure. Once Yasuke shows up, it's gonna be hell.
Yeah, there you go. Black Dragon form used up. Yasuke still saving the Retribution. Didn't use it earlier. Throwing a ruin in the flicker combo into the back line as Nino gets cooked by the Jikundo. Alec, gun down. Yue picking up the kill. RWM there. Whoa, burst through Edward.
Nino, though, gets the Petrify. A lot of damage on a Demonkind. It takes him out.
With the DOT as Yasuke stampedes through Aurora Gaming Philippines. Now this is the start that Alter Ego wanted last game, but can only find in game 2.
We're second in that last fight. I was a little worried, but wait a second, Yasuke caught up in the midst.
Yeah, with the Jikundo, but he's all good. Yue doesn't deal nearly enough damage to really threaten Yasuke right now.
As I was saying in that previous fight, it felt like Aurora Gaming had the advantage. Nino, even getting low, the AE were able to kind of back off and then re-enter into the fight and turn it into their own hands.
Yep.
Yasuke with the steed is feeling clean. Up in the top side, maybe a play, but AE just continuing to get vision, continuing to get information.
You gotta constantly put the pressure down onto Aurora Gaming Philippines. And at this point, it's surprising that the lead isn't higher. I really thought it would be higher at this point, knowing that they were able to take the purple buff and all that. Light with a Shunpu could flicker out. Now the Phantom Steed now over on Light. Could Mountain Shocker to disengage, and we get to check the items.
Taking a look at the eye.
That's it. That's it.
That was it.
We got a glimpse.
Only get to check those things. Remember that.
You blink and you miss it. If you don't remember it, it's your fault. Skill issue, bro.
Nobody's hit a full item yet, though. Yasuke has got in what maybe looks like the beginning of a endless battle. Is he going to go for endless battle first, or no? Hunter Strike.
Yasuke?
Yasuke.
Yeah. Go for the War Axe, I think.
War Axe up front. Wait a second, though. Black Dragon to the backside.
Interesting. There's a Petrify on Yue as well. Gonna go for the all-in under Turnip. Nino actually gets the kill. And now it's gonna be the Stampede from Yasuke. Away the Dragon to go for it there. And disengage Nino, taken down by Demon Kite. It's 1-for-1.
EXP for mid. Not a bad trade overall, but at this point, now Nino's on the clock, you know?
Yeah.
One more death, and that's a wrap. You're just a linebacker at this point.
Is Nino a carry or is he a linebacker though, right? Because I think he can play both roles depending on the situation. But the thing is, the turtle was spawning. There was no reason for them to do all that, you know? Like they were doing too much, Unk.
Who you calling Unk, bro?
Them.
Them, all right, just want to make sure. Just want to make sure, all right. And you, second turtle of the game. Edward holding down the front line. Can Alter Ego break through?
Oh, Thunder Ruin zones him away. The RWM comes down, but it's not going to be enough damage right there. His life's going to be taken very low. Arfi, with the help of Ijume, Void Blast him to the ground. So it's a turtle for a kill, but it's a kill on Light.
Kill on Light. I mean, overall, wait a second, maybe a kill on someone else?
No, man, dashing through. Oh, has to flicker out there. He saw Ijume, he saw a glimpse of Ijume. He's like, yeah, nah, I ain't handling all that smoke.
And Nino takes a tower on the bot side, though. The first tower of this series so far. Possibly a second on top unless UA can do something about it.
Arfi goes for the Rhapsody instead, wants to just clear it out. Knows he has another wave that is going to come through, so he's going to take the turret down. Inevitable. It'll be inevitable. And it is the War Axe for Yasuke. Right after the Fury Hammer, he went for the War Axe path. That's why I was unsure, like, is he actually going for Heptaseed? Probably not. War Axe, and there it is. So just to get him a little bit more physical penetration before he gets the War Axe.
And on the other side, Aurora Gaming, defensive items into the hands all around. Skypiercer also coming in for Arfi. He hasn't gotten a kill yet on the board, but with the pace that things are going for Alter Ego, it feels good. You're at a 3K gold lead. This is the time to buy it and start scaling and just put the nail into the coffin.
Yep, Oleg with the power of Wilderness straight onto Demon Kite. Traction pulse will lock Yasuke down, but there's no one to follow it up, and Yasuke gets the retry on the orange before Demon Kite can.
Yeah, this is exactly what Aurora Gaming was hoping wouldn't happen. This is what they were able to stop last game.
Yep.
This next turtle, Aurora Gaming was able to take second turtle. Third turtle could be huge. This could be the thing that takes this 3K gold lead into a 4, and then the Stampede is truly on as we get into the 8, 9, 10-minute mark. First Lord, Alter Ego just need to keep on hitting the gas if I'm them. Keep on stealing purples, keep on stealing oranges. Don't let up.
And that's exactly what they're doing. They're pulling a Trex 101 as to how to utilize the horse in MLBB. And I gotta say, man, I'm just not a fan of Edward on an Alice, you know? Like, it's a playmaker show. Oh, what? Level the GQ know the flicker away the Dragon as well. They go all in onto Nino with RWM, catches you in the back as Yasuke goes for the Steed. And I don't think Aurora will want any more smoke after using those resources. A Petrify from Nino, but a good flicker out from Edward.
Very well done by Alter Ego.
Alec.
Second.
Chasing the Yisun Shin down. 1v1 me, bro! Balanced hero, by the way.
Balanced hero, totally. Now on the mid side as well. Yuzuke wants a 1v1 as well. Just across the map. They're throwing hands. They're ready.
But they can win those 1v1s. The thing is, for Aurora Gaming Philippines, Demon Kite's so far behind, he can't win any 1v1s. Against the Granger, I think he's cooked. Against the Eve, probably same. Against the Hilda, 100%.
Is this going to be another orange buff into the hand?
Bro, how?
He's not even farming his own jungle at this point.
You know who's farming his jungle? Demon Kite. Demon Kite's on the other side, farming the jungle. But because of that, they lose so much tempo. And Alex able to bait out the Zaman Force of all things. Flickers out to safety. At least Demon Kite. Oh no. Was he seen? I think he was seen. No, are they gonna go for? Okay, no, he gets away. I thought he was seen by the turret. That's why Alter Ego moved bot. That was a bit scary.
Now, you mentioned Edward on the Alice earlier.
Yeah.
I do agree. I want to see Edward on something aggressive. I want to see
Damage
Edward on
dealing.
something, damage dealing. You look at some of the EXP laners in the Philippines, Sanford, Edward, these guys can make plays happen.
Yes.
And you don't want to put them on something passive like this. Give them something proactive.
Again, Alec the back line,
Oh.
able to go in, but it's gonna be the Sky Piercer stack for free as Edward jumps around. Blinking back to the turret, RWM, oh, so much damage from Hijume, but not nearly enough to zone them away from clearing that wave. So Aurora, despite this big lead for Alter Ego, they're standing their ground, man.
Yeah, slight misplay from Alec there. Going too deep, not knowing exactly. I mean, yes, you have the gold lead, but you can't just jump into their face under towers like that. You still need to keep it smart because you catch one Mount Shocker to the face, and it's GG's. Now, Dome Kite is going to end up possibly being one of the saving graces here.
Yeah.
He's got 2 items in. I still think he needs one more. You've got the Feather. You've got the...
Holy Crystal?
Holy Crystal.
Next?
Gonna be
Oh,
last.
the next one. Starlight
Starlim Scythe,
Scythe. Yes,
and then
yes,
he
sir.
already has Starlim Scythe. We're coming into Holy Crystal. Once he has that, the damage might just pull through, but that's a while out.
Yeah, it is going to be a while. Oh, good Petrify. UA forces the flicker out before the fight even starts. Now the Black Dragon forces the throw, and the Ruin goes to the back line, but Yuzuki gets blocked by the way to Dragon.
Yasuke able to take out Edward and get the Lord.
Yuzuki was locked, but it doesn't matter, Nino! On 2, 1 swing and a tail, and it's 2 members down. What's 2 plus 2, Trex?
4.
Quick maths, and that's how many members of Aurora went down that fight.
Plus the Lord. I mean, they robbed the
5.
bank at this point. 5. Exactly. That's a lot.
Make it 6 and 7 with the small camp. Look, they're gonna leave
that one.
it.
It's only 6.
The 6.
The 6 lives were lost in
Not
that
7.
battle.
Maybe minions. Do we count minions,
No,
Trex?
no,
minions.
those aren't people.
Minion. Whoa, whoa. Minion lives don't matter? Okay. Let's take a look at the item builds real quick again to see exactly how they dealt that much damage. Yuzuki, brother, I could have sworn he was locked down. He got up like it was nothing, dude.
Nothing at all. Alter Ego Esports with a 7,000 gold lead are gonna crash into this base. And honestly, taking a look at Aurora Gaming's composition, they don't have any range. Yes, they can clear waves. Yes, they can shred lords, but they put themselves at risk while doing that heavily. And all it takes is one big dive, one good petrify from the Black Dragon, or everyone getting caught in this RWM. Alter Ego has the ability to do that.
Light in the back, trying to really look for the play now, but look at the Black Dragon form. Edward able to find 2 members on the throne of ruin, but Alec tanks up the turn. A petrify from Nino.
Nino does go down, but wait a second, Edward falls. Hijume picks it up.
Man, the turret juggle was perfect. It was first Alex, and we thought it was Nino. But in the end, it was Yuzuki on the horse who took the turret shots.
And the tower goes down. Alter Ego got what they came for. More jungle stolen and another wave coming down the top.
No Trex, they
want
for more. Absolutely, they want more. Look at how low that turret is up top. And Aurora, they just have to take it. There's no way they can fight. Phantom Steed comes around. Zaman Force defensively from Domenkai. And RP doesn't even have a Sky Piercer stack. Like, he's 0-0-4. This is as utility as the Granger gets.
He's still waiting. It's coming. Don't worry. Eventually.
The stacks were promised to him.
They were promised to him long ago. Written in stone.
Lisan Al-Gaib. It was in the prophecy.
It was in the prophecy.
The Granger Merchant prophecy of MLBB Id. But he's no longer a Granger Merchant, so that's unfair. You know?
The great ego himself.
The great ego himself. With a little bit of esports.
A little bit of esports.
Meanwhile, though, Yue, he got, I think, 1 Sky Piercer stack? But then
he got one and they took it away.
They took it away from him.
He's got 7 stacks.
6 or 7.
6 or 7.
But Alter Ego have a 10.5k gold lead, and really, it just gets tough. Yes, they have scaling. Aurora Gaming Philippines, they have really good clear.
Oh, Holy Crystal, finally, but is it too late?
I think that delays the power spike a bit, right? The enemy team is 10,000 gold ahead, so you might have to wait for Divine Glaive before the power spike actually hits. But even then, he's on a flicker, so it's so hard to go in for free hits. Oh, Nino! Black Dragon from the back. Oh no, Yue! Can you run away? It's Nino flying around now as Yuzuki gets on the steed, but Barbiel ain't fast enough.
He ain't fast enough, but can he go back to the Lord? And with that, a lot of ults are gone from
Through it.
Alter Ego.
Edward on two, Zaman for something! Dive to the back, RP! Gets Edward down to petrify! From Nino! And the stacks that were promised came true! It's now RP with a triple kill! And he's looking for more! One that's Sonata!
That's
RP gets a maniac!
Yazuke now gonna move in. And Arfi, the stacks were promised and the game will be as well.
It's just Demon Kite left. Pops in the Mountain Shocker. Alec tanks up the turret, and they go all in, even under the fountain. It's 1-1.
Alter Ego tie the series. This is only game 2 of the knockouts. And so far, we continuously are going the distance. The stadium feels it. And I think us casters feel it as well. Renmar, Gideon, Leo, how we doing?
I'm feeling it. I'm definitely feeling it too. Alter Ego, they take the condition. We pose the question, what if it actually gets to the point where the Alice is not a problem? And it definitely happened. It did not get to the point where it was a problem. Alter Ego, Nino, leading the charge.
Was too expensive a lineup, I'll tell you now. We were waiting for that third item on Demon Kite. Demon Kite was struggling, he was begging, he was starving for a majority of this very short game in context of how long the rest of today's matches were. So, again, I think it's Aurora. It's them. It's on them now to say they spent too much time. They were too confident in saying we can get the farm.
I think simply put, there were just not enough winning lanes. And when you thought that Domenkai was going to be the one right at level 1, proven wrong, that Arfi, he still got it on that Granger. I am so impressed with the way that AE finds these insane angles. However, the commitment coming out of AE, similarly to the Alter champs, unwavering. Does it look bad? Do we use a lot of ults? Doesn't matter, we go.
I mean, call back to MPL Philippines Season 16 playoffs. Early on, we were like, how are we going to solve this Alice problem? It didn't take long until Yu Zhang came back and said, now I am the solution to the Alice problem in the lane. It is demanding of any Alice player, no matter how consistent and great they are, to lane up against that Yu Zhang, and that became the perfect answer to the Alice.
Yeah, Aurora's lineup did not live up to the ultimatum of give it 2 deaths before 5 minutes, and the big sandworm in the sky is solved. It's not. This is Nino playing like a carry Yu Zhang.
As he should, because he played that laning phase phenomenally. Getting an early Petrify to get a crazy trade to completely negate the lane from Alice's side, set the tempo for the upcoming turtle. Because by the time he had Black Dragon form, he was like, what, 12 seconds off the Petrify to use again?
Let's see who the MVP is. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Nino. Of course it's Nino. 4-1-3 on this Yu Zhang. The Petrify, the Furious Dives, the aggression set by him alongside Alec, providing all of the space that the rest of Alter Ego needed.
The stacks that were promised to Arfi would not have come if it were not for the efforts of this Yu Zhang early on, all right? And in the mid game, I love how you just randomly Black Dragon form, play around in the back line, and if he can combo out, and then on his way out kill somebody with the power of Shok, then, you know, that's just him saying, you know what, I might not be the carry, but I can try.
And I love the way that he's conditioning all the weaker, well, softer members from the side of Aurora, like Yue for an example. He was starting to recognize, wait a minute, and even Light recognized, wait, when he's in that Black Dragon form, he's using Petri in the middle of the air to set up that combo rather than just the Furious Dive, which is why we saw a lot of preemptive flickers throughout the game. Once that standard was set and the conversions from turtle fights turned into purple buffs, I think it was fairly quick that Aurora was like, man, these fights are near impossible to win.
Gideon, Renmar, I'm glad that Nino showed us this kind of performance because I thought I was getting an aneurysm. I thought I was in a fever dream saying, yo, is Yu Zhang cooked? Is he just suddenly out of the metagame? Because we saw very little of it throughout the day. And finally, here's one that got an MVP performance.
My sleeper hit for this game was actually Hijume. I brought up earlier about how his already World Championship experience for country, for Indonesia in IESF 2022 will be a factor. I always appreciate any EVE game that shows us the value of timing your real-world manipulation at the perfect time. Whether it's going to be part of the initiation or the late fight-changing ultimate to cover any of the Aurora responses, Hijume was great on this Eve.
And all of that started in the early game, right? Where Hijume got that initial freeze onto Yue. He could not walk up into the lane anymore. And with the help of the Hilda alongside him, Alec, he was doing a phenomenal job. He was not only disrupting Demon Kite, but he was also pulling the attention of Light as well, which in cause gave up on the lane where Yue just had to just back off and eat Void Blast after blast.
Yeah, what this Hilda brings the AE is what they needed in game 1. They needed a safe way to check bushes, safe way to flush Light out from these weird angles, and that allowed for them to be the aggressors. That allowed for them to embrace the playstyle they were looking for even from game 1, because I'll tell you, even if they lost game 1 in like 18 minutes, they were still playing an alter ego playstyle. Talking about Hijume, right? Just to circle it back, he got so many friggin' kills in game 1.
To add to the value of the alter ego lineup here, in game number 1, we made a huge point about how Aurora timed abilities, timed battle spells. What then if you're up against a lineup that just forces you to use those? Because if you don't, then you're gonna get set on easily by any member of Alter Ego. So this aggression was, I feel like, a little bit more calculated in terms of forcing out key resources from the members of Aurora.
Well, it certainly helps when they were ahead in terms of gold, right? When you're 2,000 ahead, it feels a lot more comfortable. When you're 10K ahead, it feels like you can do no wrong. And I think in this particular game, it's a good case study for whether or not how much aggression is good and how much value do you get from it ultimately. Because let's keep in mind, Hijume, he was trying to use the RWM to get a T1, right? To deny space from Rora to be able to touch that wave. Luckily, Rora was able to clear it out, but the same impact goes, right? How much impact can that RWM get? And that was the question every single time they 5v5.
Yeah.
Value in gold, in EXP, and in blood. 13-4 in 13 minutes, that's a kill per minute.
I feel like this is a learning for Aurora, though, that if they decide to lean towards a lineup that is a little bit more counter-focused, it's not going to end well for them. With Alter Ego, the aggression that they show, that once they have that lead, it's hard for them to let go and hard to take it back of your Aurora. If there's one thing that I now want to put under a microscope, it's that Kimi pick at third. We saw the Hilda, we saw the Leomord, and theoretically, having the Kimi this time around against an Hilda is, okay, the Hilda's charging up at me, I'm constantly peppering it with basic attacks. But then that was already after you saw the Eve. Now if it's Leomord and Hilda plus the Eve, the Kimi value goes down.
Yeah, the Kimi. Well, actually, I would say that if the laning phase went better, you could handle the Leo, because Leo mode only comes in one direction 90% of the time, and at least when you are playing that traditional front to back, Kimi gets a lot of value when her passive is up, and you can kind of gun multiple people down when they're coming at you. The problem is that, oh man, I gotta give it to them. The mid lane do it's just quickly throw sand in their eyes, duck under the punch, quickly attack the jungle, pull attention, and then they punished Light. Because every time he walks across that map, the brass tax was high. How many times did he actually have to recall throughout those fights? You count, you turn it back, and you count.
Yeah. Really difficult decisions here for Aurora, which led to Alter Ego ending up with a lineup that plays more to their strengths with even more value. I mean, we can't take away from the fact that their game number 1 lineup does play to their strengths, except this time around, it's not so coded with, hey, let's make sure we layer everything really well at the same time. This one is like, we can wait on the real-world manipulation. Just throw Barbiel out. It'll be okay.
It's pretty freestyle, and I think that definitely incentivized more fighting. And I guess it's just a nightmare for Aurora that they picked a scaling lineup. They can't afford to do that, not to La Familia.
Yeah. So for Aurora, maybe for the next games, they're going to want to draft the lineup, especially through the EXP lane, having a little bit more impact right away. And maybe this might be a learning also. Don't give Nino the Yuzhong because he's really good at it, especially when he gets the ball rolling. But now it's time for us to get an interview with some very familiar faces in the Indonesian community. And it's time for us, the global MLBB esports community, to learn more about them.
Thank you so much, casters. It's Eterna here in the venue right now, and it's now a 1-to-1 between Aurora Philippines as well as Alter Ego. Now, Eterna's here not alone because right now we have Van Strong as well as Rin. So, welcome, boys.
Welcome.
Welcome. Welcome juga. Okay. Van Strong, we want to know, what does it feel like watching from the sidelines and considering that Alter Ego was able to come back here in game number 2?
Dari POV gue sih game 2 bisa comeback karena kita udah reset aja sih. Karena game 1 yang gue lihat ya kita kayak nervous aja. Terus udah ke solve problemnya game 2 ya kita main at our base lah.
Okay, so he mentioned that they were able to come back in game number 2 because the game plan was a lot more solid. And of course they were able to come back because they're not nervous anymore. Apparently in game number 1 there were nerves. Kenapa? Apa yang bisa bikin deg-degan? Apakah stage-nya? Atau karena lawannya? What made the nerves? Was it because it was game number 1 of the stage? Or was it because of being up against Aurora Philippines?
Gua rasa sih cuma gara-gara first match di stage yang ini sih. Jadi makanya nervous dikit aja.
Okay, so Van Strong mentioned that it looked like there were a lot of nerves because this is a new stage here for the second day of the knockout stages. Now let's go to Rin. Rin apparently can speak English now. So he will reply in English.
Yes.
Yes.
Of course.
Okay, Rin, because you're so good at English, we're gonna ask you here. Rin, why is everyone bald?
Karena enak aja nggak gerah.
Oh, okay, because it's nicer, it's not hot. Because I saw in your interview previously with Monica that people said, from Alter Ego said that they are all bald because you told them to be bald. Is that true?
Ya, karena saya ingin mengumpulkan jajaran para orang botak dan menjadi baik hati dan tidak sombong.
The Alter champs are going wild. Sir, apparently Rin said that they're all bald, and Rin asked everyone to be bald because he wants to combine a line of what? Of bald soldiers that are humble.
Bold circle.
Bold circle.
Yes.
Soldier.
Yes.
Yes. All right. So what's your design for today? Apa desainnya hari ini?
Apa-apa?
Untuk kamu. Kamu di kepalanya desainnya apa hari ini?
Desainnya SpongeBob dan Rata Geng.
The design is SpongeBob. All right. Van Strong, do you think now we're seeing a 1-to-1? Remember, this is the best of 5. Do you think Alter Ego can come back full 3-1?
I'm confident my team will come back lah. Will 3-1.
Oh, okay. Nggak boleh gitu loh.
Oh, Oki. Game 2 kita menangnya Oki.
Okay, they won game 2 because of the luck. Don't remember the passive. Remember?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oki game 2 Oki.
Game 2 was lucky. They were just lucky. All right, Rin, to close this off, we want to hear your voice. All right. So there's so many Alter champs in the building right now here in M7. We want to hear you cheer.
Okay.
You have to lead the cheer, okay?
Ready.
Semuanya ready?
Alter champs mana woi. Pas gue bilang Alter Ego, kalian bilang go ya. 1, 2, 3, Alter Ego! Go!
Keren banget. That was very nice. Thank you so much, Rin.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Van Strong, for this interview. Thank you so much, Alter champs. Thank you so much because we're going to throw it over back to our casters.
So Filipino, I just want to say, I love that the Alter champs were inspired by local legend Rufame Quinto with the go chants, of course. And now they're going wild with a go for Alter Ego as they have tied up the series. And even Van Strong said he's confident that his team is going to be able to seal it up with a 3-1. But we're still going to be going into what is going on? What is that?
I would like to propose a new cheer for the Alter Champs.
Oh, a new cheer for the Alter Champs. Did you and Gideon work on this? Okay. What is it? What is it?
Me and Mirko too. Like.
Oh yeah, Mirko as well. Mirko as well. So what is it?
We are Alter Champs. There's a little shoulder dance involved. We're workshopping it.
It will get there. It'll get there. But I think what's so exciting about AE for me personally, as a an individual comes from MPL NY, a lot of the AE members so happen to come over as imports, and I mean they've kind of given a different perspective on what AE is all about. They're not just about all aggression. They're pretty smart at what they do, and they know the fundamentals enough to break them on purpose. And I think that's the key difference here.
Yeah. Of course, we know the history as well of the coach of Alter Ego with esports background already. I'm going to M7. That's what he said. And now here he is, and I like the restructuring of the draft, the change of approach. Game number 1, a little bit too gila. Game number 2, balanced out the gila, and then eventually worked out well for them. So hopefully we get to see more innovation from Alter Ego. While for the side of Aurora, I think now it's their turn to do a little bit of restructuring in their draft decisions. I thought we were heading into the draft. That's why I was setting things up this way. But right now, it's time for us to thank some friends. Wish we had our friends here for this one, but we don't. So we're just going to thank Secret Lab first and foremost.
That's right. Play better for longer with Secret Lab's ergonomic chairs used on stage by our athletes. It's trusted by the world's best MLBB teams. Whether you're enjoying a casual game with friends, climbing to Mythic onwards, Secret Lab can elevate your game with tournament-grade ergonomic support, the very same kind that powers the pros on the elite stage.
Yeah. Right now, I'm actually using the Secret Lab Invisible.
Oh,
yeah,
it's the foot. No, it's actually the footstool that they. I mean, obviously, it doesn't come with the chair.
What do you mean footstool? I'm not using a footstool. This is totally height accurate right now.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Quickly pick up the Secret Lab Titan Evo, one of my personal favorite chairs to sit on. Definitely love the GU leather, of course, but more importantly, the ergonomic advantages that you get from it. I like the fact that it's just all magnetic. It's something that tickles my pickle a little.
Excuse me?
It's his cup of tea.
Yeah, it is. And you see it on your screens right now, the Secret Lab Titan Evo. So scan the QR code if you want more information on the model. And I love how we get special treatments for the Secret Lab chairs every M series.
Yeah, year in, year out.
Yeah, different color schemes. I wonder if there's some lucky individual out there in the world who just has like every Secret Lab M series collab ever.
Don't look at me like that. I only have like 2. I have 2 out of the.
That's 2 more than I have.
Sir, we don't even have 1.
Oh, yikes. Oh, yikes. Well, that's unfortunate for you guys. I'll guess I'll enjoy the benefits for myself, because that's not the only thing that I've been enjoying in terms of benefits, because one of the few things, and honestly, it's my guilty pleasure, I've been checking out Acecraft. It's a SDG build around adaptability. It's got like a lot of roguelike elements where you have random skills, bullet deflection mechanics, and a retro cartoon style, all designed for fast, skill-driven aerial combat. So, jump into Acecraft right now for some nostalgic fun.
He was playing this whole time.
Oh, no wonder. That's why you keep getting the real memes per month. And you're still in game, man.
Stop! You don't have to tell everybody.
No, you're gonna lose that if you don't get ahead and play it. But hey, while you're playing Acecraft, well, no, we have jobs to do. Let's talk about the draft now for game number 3. What to expect? Balancing for Alter Ego. Right now, I'm not looking a lot of requirements from Alter Ego. Now I'm looking for what the adjustments will be for Aurora. And hey, there's a little bit another surprise here.
They could refer to the MLBB Academy. It's been fully upgraded. Get personal weekly reports to understand your pacing, strengths, weaknesses, along with complete match history, so every big moment is recorded. You can also rate trending topics and share your perspective. Whether you're tracking stats or joining the conversation, MLBB Academy is where your matches are there for you to watch, and it helps you understand your growth in Mobile Legends Bang Bang. You can check it out on mobilelegends.com/academy.
Thank you to all our friends, and of course to everything that we have available for you as MLBB grows into the phenomenon that it is in 2026 moving forward as well. So now, this actually would have been a smoother transition to talk about the draft. So let's talk about the draft for Aurora. I think with our conversations earlier, what we're looking for Aurora now is quite simple. Impact for Edward, and not taking too long for scale.
And that last point, yes, just to rephrase, respect the economic balance. Like, don't try to cram as much, oh, we need EXP, we need this gold in this little time, assuming that AE is going to let you do it?
Well, I personally think that I feel like Rora needs to grow a bigger ego, right? I feel like they need to be like, no, I'm picking these heroes, I'm gonna beat you in lane, end of story, because that's honestly what happened in game number 2 for AE side. So it's not like Rora is bad in any means. Let's just micro them out.
Dare I say, I feel like that game 2 draft was actually them showing a bit of their ego. Them picking up that Kimmy and thinking that, hey, we can win the mid.
Assuming they'll get away with it.
Assuming they'll get away with it. Edward ending up with Alice, even though we've already seen that Yuzong gives Alice a lot of trouble. It's like, you can get away with it.
Yeah.
So now, the ego is there. I think it's, again, what was the statement that you mentioned about economic?
Respect the economic balance.
Respect the economic balance.
I think if they practice too much ego is what would cause their downfall, on the contrary, because again, this team is known to have mastered the basics because, you know, it's upon their coach's name, and they're just so good at the fundamental game that is MLBB. So I'd say use that, do that.
I think the bigger question they have to answer is how do they deal with these sanctions and tariffs that's supposedly coming from AE side? Because every single time they move out of the lane, how many people have to recall? How many people have to pay the tax?
I know what you're talking about. The aggro tax.
Exactly.
If you want to go from lane to lane, get that double wave, guess who's waiting? It's Daddy Nino. If you want to make sure that your jungle is safe, guess who's checking in? Just throw in random, well, for the most part, magic damage in there is Hichume. So, again, respect that approach that AE is definitely going to bring in.
It's very simple MLBB terms for Aurora. More money, more faster. I think it's the simplest form that we can put it. More money, more faster. Respect the economic balance. Let's see if they're going to do just that for the draft for game number 3. As I'm pretty sure if Alter Ego go into the next one with a match point lead, this crowd is going to be way behind them to making sure that they seal the deal. We go into dangerous grass. I love grass, and now I love the picks that can come out here. Alter Ego might actually want to bring back Hilda, as it is great in grass.
Huh. Well, this is interesting. I mean, the Grok is banned out. This time the Fanny Freya alongside with the Leomord is getting banned out. I'm not sure if this is the right approach from the side of Aurora, because they are escalating and adapting from game to game with minor changes across the board.
Every ban in blue in the first phase is basically them just taking off the restraints. Because with these bans, and literally the one ban left for Alter Ego, you know, what's going to be left out there? Kalia, Eve, Farsa, Sora, like all of these high priority targets are coming through, and they're getting a good trade in mid for sure. Eve or Zushin. I didn't even mention Zushin.
So is Jushin gonna show up now?
I mean, it kind of depends, right?
Gotta be Zushin.
I mean, Yue can play both of them, which is why I feel like it's kind of up to him. Coach is going to be asking him, like, what are you feeling here today? And we'll adjust accordingly, because no matter what, I feel like on AE side, Hijume has made nasty moves on this Eve. He might get it again, but at the same time, they can set up for the eventual Claude.
So yeah, the Eve is a good thing to consider, but there goes the Juicing. It does go up.
Claude, right? Because again, Aurora already made their bet and said, let's try to give him the Eve. It couldn't be that bad. And I think in their minds, they looked back at game 2 and said, it wasn't that bad. Go for the Zushin.
And there it is. Good call, Gideon. It is the even Claude, as the Freya is no longer an issue here for Aurora. So what's the matchup going to be for Domikite? How does he want to handle this Claude now? Don't tell me he's just going to fall into the carry. He's up against a lineup with an Eve. Ranger.
You want a combo. You want to get, you know, the damage on whoever you slam.
What? Really? The Khalid was going to be the go-to here rather than just exposing the EXP laner early on? But they also get the Aerith as well, and I think it's a little more comfortable from Domikite's POV. It's like, yeah, sure, you are a WM, but as soon as it's gone, that's when I'm going to be running through you.
This is like too hardcore comfort. The Khalid, I can make a bit of a weak case for. A case is there, but it's weak. The Harris, I don't know.
I don't like the Khalid this early because it's so easy. for Alter Ego to invest in tiny crowd controls to counter the quicksand guard.
Yep. There's a lot of easy ways to kind of deal with it. Valentina going to be the follow-up ban for the side of AE. It feels like they've got this in the bag, but I know Aurora ain't going to just let this go for free. Now, the only thing I think the Khalid is a little strange here is because they could have shown EXP. They could have shown EXP very early on and really hammer it down.
It's a lot strange. It's not just a little strange.
Yeah, I mean, and really just force Nino to be like, hey, if you didn't get the Sora now or later down the line, you would have to play a sandbag.
I'm thinking that Aurora decided to go for the Khalid early on because they probably were already thinking, okay, we want fast tempo because we're up against a Claude, we want to take control of the center. Khalid's one of the best heroes to do that, sure. They were probably already thinking that Alter Ego is just going to ban it out in the second phase. Let's go ahead and pick it up in the first phase. I'm not to say that it's the perfect reason to go forward, but that could be the vision that they are going for. Not the biggest supporter of it, but I sort of see what they wanted to go for.
It's a tough one. It's a real tough one here. Ban the Gwen. What else do you have to worry about here? Because there's a really good argument for AE to also just lean into the Fredrin if necessary.
Yeah. Are they blocking out junglers? Is that what they're looking at this Guinevere as?
I suppose, but
there's still no pick on Alec, and we know Alec, you know, at least kind of prefers the Gwyn.
Roam. Are they just gonna match it up with Hilda?
Roam in jungle.
I think he goes chill, right?
Yeah.
Gets chill, forces Harith to take the Purify. Same goes for Claude on the opposite. And actually, Claude doesn't need it. There's no hard lockdown besides the Raging Sandstorm, but that's more towards the RWM than anything else. We see an Esme ban up there. Real good stuff from AE. Aurora, do they ban the Fredrin here? Are they worried about any potential flexes?
Yeah, I think maybe utility, because what if they're already eyeing Demonkind is going to end up playing an assassin? Baksha gone, Grok gone, Leomord gone, Fanny gone. He could just end up falling into... I think the Lancelot might be a bit tough. Yeah, I think it is looking towards an assassin for him, either the Lancelot or the Hayabusa.
That's right.
They just go Fredrin here, right?
Yeah.
Because if not, why did you ban out Boxia without getting rid of the other utility jungle on purpose?
Yeah.
That might have been a decision made from a different time. Again, we're going to the second phase now.
Oh, the denial of high loss. I like this a lot, actually.
Okay, Alec gets a huge zoning tool in addition to the real-world manipulation.
And now you know that Aurora won't have a roamer with Revitalize or any heal utility. Usually one of the factors you have to look out for when there's a high loss, Gatot, Kalea on either lineups is that can the other roamer match that healing for the rest of the team? Now the answer is no. And I don't think Aurora will have any picks left in the remaining picks to actually match that utility. Unless they shock and go Khalid XP, then pick up a roam still. But
it's been a while.
It's been a while, and it's up against the Sora. Quicksand Guard's not going to be the best. So they go Lapu-Lapu for XP. They need a little bit more dive to go with it. They get the Fredrin?
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Somebody was eventually going to get the Fredrin, right? We were all banking on it. I'm just surprised they wanted to go Lapu instead of Uranus here.
Okay. Aurora repaired the economic balance, but I'm afraid that it's not aggressive enough to deal with the current metagame, especially the way Alter Ego plays. But it might just work, because again, it's at least a safer package than whatever they were playing with in game 2.
Okay, the Fredrin will struggle theoretically against the high loss of the Eve alone. But then I think they were playing in the card of, okay, Alter Ego are expecting us to go Assassin. Nope, let's go ahead and pick up the Fredrin, so maybe this time they get forced into the Assassin. Will it be?
Jin? All right.
Jin.
Yeah. That was the only option that they could probably go for there. That's still flexible enough and still can actually find space in between of these fights. Oh man, this one's a little interesting, right? Because now they have double divers to actually deal with the RGM. It's clear that Hijime is the bigger problem.
Yeah. Good understanding of the impact of Hijime earlier, and when we look at the lineup rating, it leans heavily favored towards Aurora. It's surprising. Damage profile, not my favorite, but yeah, I'm leaning towards them for this one.
Yep, the fundamentals that you're capable of executing with Aurora's lineup from early, mid to late. I like it. I'm in love. This might just get them to match point.
I'm seeing the way that AE has been playing so far. That momentum should be able to compensate for this. And honestly, if they don't go fast enough, it might just be over.
Game number 3 in this best-of-5 series. 2 teams looking to redeem themselves in the eyes of the world. Drex, Mirko, say something smart.
Something smart
something smart.
Is what Mirko and Trex always say as we jump into the land of Dawn. If you're just joining us, it's 1-1 right now between AE and Aurora Gaming. Mirko, we want to see Edward on something proactive. He picks up the Lapu Lapu. My only problem with their draft right now, at least for me though, is this Khalid.
Yeah. The Khalid is, I don't know, for me the Harith is quite questionable as well, honestly, going up against the Claude, right? Like, it isn't a winning matchup for Doming. Earlier, we saw the Granger versus Harith. We saw level 1. It was great for the Granger. But this time against the Claude, Claude is going to outscale the Harith. And once you get Winter Crown, very difficult to deal with.
Yeah, the draft is clean, but Aurora Gaming definitely goes a little bit outside the box.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas Alter Ego brings us back to some simplistic Swiss stage type drafts. You have the Claude, you have the Sora, you have this Hylos. Just keeping it simple, a very straightforward draft overall.
And it's just crazy to see because, like, sure, Zeusin is amazing, but is it, oh my god, light! The Khalid, that's a flicker! Void Blast, first blood for Hijume!
That's huge for the side of Alter Ego, not only a first blood, plus a flicker. You get a lot of value out of that. A lot of times players will just let themselves die and not use the flicker, but now you've lost even more.
Oh man, Yue really tried there. He made him miss at least one cannon minion, but yes, flickers down there. It's gonna be quite big, and again in the bottom lane, Arfi already winning it out, just purely from sustain. Because the thing is about the Claude, right? If you're up against the Harith, back then at least, the Harith will win in the trades, and then you're gonna be forced back. But here, you never lose a trade in a way, because even if you lose a trade, 2 hits and you're back to almost full HP. The Fighter Emblem just gives you so much sustain.
Exactly. Normally the Harith with the range. Wait a second, on the mid side, RWM.
Oh man, they be caught. RWM doing so much damage on Yue. And that's another flicker down for Revitalize for Alec.
2 flickers down before the turtle.
You know, on a bad spot in the air, taken down by the Khalid now. A good taunt landing on Alec. He's trying to get away. Hijume providing enough support. The Appraiser's Wrath nowhere near enough damage to take the horse down. But they regain control off the turtle. And now it should be free. Yazuke will not make it free though. They will take as many green camps. He will counter jungle as many camps as possible. But this is why they go Khalid. It's very difficult to farm up against him. Raging Sandstorm used up, but again, for Yue, no flicker. He's gonna chill on that one. You know, in the top lane, solo kill against Edward.
Revenge was served in the top lane. Just in a moment of Aurora Gaming starting to control the map, Alter Ego fights back. I do want to talk about this Khalid a little bit more. Renmar did say you get that laning phase aggression. He outputs amazing damage in those first 4 levels, and Aurora Gaming have been capitalizing on that. They've been taking advantage of the quick movements. Luckily, Alter Ego, though, is able to find some plays for themselves in the midst of it all.
Let's take a look at the items here. Quick check. Nothing too crazy. It's the rush for the DHS for Arfi as usual. And yeah, the Azure Blade plus the little book there to get you instant dashes, instant unlead dashes.
Dreadnought armor for Fredrin. He's probably going to switch over into some magic defense as well, so he can get a little bit of best of both worlds. Turtle's not going to be up for 50 seconds, and Alter Ego just continuously hunting for something.
Oh, they beat on the Crimson Beacon. Raging Sandstorm with the flicker over, landing on Yazuke. Now the RBM coming down as Yazuke is still able to survive. Popping him out of shocker before he dies as Hijume gets a trade on, and now it's Nino!
That's big. Demon Kite goes down. It's a 2-for-1 currently.
Bravest Fighter, the stun dodged away from Alter Ego. Walk away with the win. Demon Kite and Light down. But the thing is, it's a utility jungler and a tank for one of your carries.
I mean,
it's still worth it, but it's like...
I think taking jungle is what made that worth it. If you don't take jungle, it's definitely not worth it. But the fact that Demon Kite goes down, maybe Alter Ego's able to get a small advantage in terms of levels. Maybe they can convert that into an advantage on this next retry.
And also, that fight proves to us why a lot of Soras have been going for the Concussive Blast over Brave Smite. He just rotates so quickly. Light up top, trying to get the pressure back for him. Alec, with a walk up the Tonto, comes around for Demon Kite. Yazuke's walking up as well. The Bravest Fighter coming out for Edward. That's a free turtle again to Demon Kite. 2 on the board with no response from Alter Ego. Nino, CC immune, brings Demon Kite into the turret range. Now Raging Sandstorm, good flicker from Nino, but he's gonna be caught, and it's Yue who gets the kill.
Alter Ego can do nothing about it right now. even with the last turtle, they know we don't want to get into this. One taunt and you're all down.
Flickers him on for Shizuke, able to escape. RWM coming down on him, but Hijime, oh my god, Tormang is able to survive through it all with the unlimited dashes. And Hijime falls, Yasuke with the traceless forward, Light going in.
Looking for more. Aurora Gaming just continue put on the pressure, but Yasuke wants to maybe jump back. Alter Ego, no, they can't take the fights right now. It's just the reality of the situation. There was nothing they seem to be able to do. They lay down a nice RDM, they do something perfect and still ends up winning. They have the damage, but they also have the defense. Is there I think Alter Ego still needs maybe 8 minutes, 9 minutes till they can really put on a fight, until Claude can really lock in and get involved?
I guess so. Right now he just is sitting on a DHS. The Harith is behind in gold, but you are active way earlier. And that may be the reason as to why they actually went for the Harith despite being in a bad matchup, right? Like, Claude can get the gold lead, but how big is your lead going to be? It's not going to be a whole item diff if he did not have Mobile Legends, man. You know, straight up.
We're talking about Doming, but for me it's Yue, 2-0-1, even earlier in that who dives in with the beacon, able to output the damage, and normally it doesn't seem, normally for me at least, the Jushins aren't chunking away, but Yue makes it look nasty.
Hey, speaking of Yue, it's gonna be the all-in from Nino, going on to Yue, goes for damage as well! Yue able to survive for such a long time, and Nino had already used the flicker, he still goes in on the turret, but it's a trade at least.
Nino knew, once he saw the Zaman's force coming, it's like, all right, I have to fully commit.
It's like
at least
be complimenting him too much.
At least get the trade.
Nino he wants you to compliment him, bro. That's what he wants. You talk about Yue, he's like, nah, I want some of that, man. That's a stun though. Landing on light. Oh, whoa. Okay. Hey, it's a safe play. Better safe than sorry, right?
All right, so taking a look at the items, still only a DHS for the Claude. And I think at this point, you're going to need the whole trinity. You're going to need the scythe, you're going to need the wand, you're going to need it all to really be able to output, and that's a long while away at this point. We are 8.5 minutes in. Yep. 8.5 minutes in. And probably around 10, 11 minutes, that's when the third item's going to come. And by then, Aurora Gaming can turn this 2.7K gold lead into 4, 5, and just continue the snowball.
It's still within Aurora Gaming Philippines' power spike is the problem right now. Yeah, so Alter Ego, they're just going to have to wait and stall the game a bit longer. Because if we do get to the late game, this is where Alter Ego's composition really starts to pop off, right? They have 3 damage dealers. That's why it was very greedy for them to actually go for the Claude and then the Yi Sun Shin in the end. I really thought it was going to be a utility jungler too, right? But hey, that's the War Axe pickup, so they are getting to that point. It's just incredibly slow because in normal situations, you would actually be able to give gold, like more to the gold lane if you're on utility, or you know, vice versa. If you're on the fighter gold, you give more to the jungle. Now everyone's kind of like looking for gold everywhere on the map, and it's just getting tough because Light has so much ground clearance on this Khalid. It's so easy for him to rotate top, bot again, everywhere to stop the guys from farming or to counter jungle.
You know what's insane about this as well is Alter Ego got so many picks that we considered power picks.
Oh yeah.
They get this Claude, they have the RWM, they have big play potential here, but they're just not able to make it all work.
Let's see. Lord, already taking half HP now. RB walking up, pops into BMI as Edward jumps in with the Bravest Spider. That's where he sends him with the flicker into the back line. It finds Hijime. He pops into RWM, but it's a bit too late.
And Yakuze is trying to do something, but he's just not able to output the damage.
Traceless is out to safety. Nino still kind of in the midst of it all, doing more damage over on Demon Cam, and RB goes in now on Yue, and it takes him down. It's just a 2-for-2 at the end of the day. Yasuke, did he get taken down? No.
2 for 2 plus a Lord. Yue, Light, Hajime, and Alec all fall, but the tower's gonna fall next, and Aurora Gaming PH continues to push forward.
3.2K gold lead. Now, even if Alter Ego hit their power spike again, if Aurora are able to build a lead that bypasses that power spike, it's going to be big trouble for Alter Ego. They will have good clear still with the Yi Sun Shin. Let's take a look at the replay to see exactly what happened in that fight.
I mean, it's just a full-on dive in the backside. And look at Yasuke. Normally, that many free hits, you're going to be able to take someone out, but the damage just isn't there yet. Arfi as well, chipping away on a Yue. It takes forever to even get a kill.
Arfi died! life. New Raging Sandstorm now locks Nino down. Both the side laners of Alter Ego were caught lacking. Uh-oh.
They'll play as well. Alter Ego just trying to defend. All the holy defenses are popping. Lord is off the map at this point, but still Aurora Gaming are going to try to push in and take an inhibitor.
Whereas Yazuke is still up top now. Glorious Pathway going to be used up as the RWM actually does a little bit more damage over on Light, but now Alec actually is able to walk away, gets the stun, but it's Edward with the CC immunity of the Bravest Fighter as RP comes back to life and they'll be able to defend. Still though, they're stripped down to their base turrets in mid and bot.
And Light just locked in Radiant Armor. That means he can really hang out in the midst of this RWM. He can take even more damage. So we went from being a nice damage-dealing tank in the beginning game, and now he's just going to be able to absorb the damage. If he wants to pull off a crazy Raging Sandstorm, he has the ability to do that and get away safely. Skypiercer has been in for UA. He's 4-2-2. The stacks, I'm sure, are starting to come in, and that means even more damage on the side of Aurora Gaming. We're not even talking about Edward. We're not even talking about Dome and Kite yet.
Now it comes back to how can they get farm? Because look at Aurora. They're trying their best to actually freeze out and to push in when they actually want to take away the green camps, right? And again, for Light, he's trying to catch these guys off guard. Arfi is holding that bush right now, but it actually might come back to bite him. Dome Kite. Okay, he doesn't read into that bush. I thought, you know, he would use the eye icon to maybe look for a play there. But yeah, Alter Ego. At this point, they've hit some power spikes. Arfi already on the 3-item.
Holy Trinity.
The Holy Trinity of attack speed items already. He's building towards a Melfic gun, interestingly enough, not straight to the Winter Crown. So he's expecting to just be free in the fights.
I think it's not a bad play at this point. Maybe just fully commit, right?
Last
Try to
cannon.
chip down onto Demon Kite. There's so much tank on the side of Aurora Gaming. And if he can play smart, it could be huge.
Yeah, Nino really try to brute force into that position there, but it gets Chung. Edward zoning Yazuke away. Look at the Lord. He's getting Chung really low. Yazuke has no position to go for the contest, and Demon Kite secures it for free as Edward whips the stun, but he doesn't need to land. Raging Sandstorm with the flicker now catches Nino. That's a pick up with the Lancer Flare, and Nino gets sent to the sword of Edward.
At this point, Yazuke hasn't been able to try to take a single neutral objective. 3 turtles, 2 lords, and he hasn't even been able to walk into the pit because Aurora Gaming is waiting for him. And this is what the composition's able to do. Edward brings out the Bravest Fighter. Light brings out the Raging Sandstorm. They hold down this front line, and there's nothing these egos can do.
The Lord will charge into the mid lane. They're not even concerned about the mid lane right now. That's Alec thrown back in the bottom lane. Oh my goodness, a dive! RB with the BMI barely gets away in the Synchro Vision, but it will be guaranteed now. That is a free turret down below, and it is a base turret. For Alter Ego, it really comes down to defending the top side, just because it's the far lane. But still, Aurora will take whatever they can get. 2 base turrets with a Lord push, that's value, dude.
It might just look for a third here. Minions are coming down the bottom side. They can push on the top here. Alter Ego has to commit to 1.
Edward with Bravest Fighter now jumps onto Hijume. Yazuki dealing a lot of damage now as RP does the same. The Mountain Shocker goes wide as now it's going to be Light trying to run away, and he does. Glorious Pathway!
Dome and Kite maybe looking for the possible re-engage along with UA, but Roar are going to play it safe. They took 2 inhibitors. They can move on to the Lord next.
And look at how low that last turret is. Nino checking his bush. We'll spot Light out there. But the turret up top, man. If Aurora even just build a small slow push and they spotted this. Oh my goodness.
Arfi's gonna try to lock on.
Thankfully it's a Khalid, right? Like you don't chase him easy. Oh man, the orange buff. Yue shining the light onto Yazuke. Zoning him away, the retry from Demon Kite to take it away from Yazuke, who still kill us this game.
Now, Alter Ego have just been getting starved non-stop. Purple buff gonna go as well. Nino at least keeping vision, taking a look at the items. Taking a look at Yazuke. Just got Malefic Gun in. I mean, at this point, it is a rough position. It's a 7.7k gold. And the thing about Aurora Gaming is they're okay with taking it slow right now. They have late game potential as well. There's not exactly a clock ticking for them in the general scheme of things.
There you go. Winter Crown actually built by Domeng quicker than the Claude. Again, you would expect the Winter Crown to be built up earlier for the Claude, just so that you can try to make those outplays happen, but it's Domeng. So Now he has the survivability in the team fight. Even if you go for the all-in on him, say you poke him out, right? He still can pop winner crown. The rest of the team can then just peel all the other engagers off of him.
All right, so for Alter Ego here to make something happen, I think they need the big play, right? Nino needs to pull something off. But right now, Alter Ego approaching these fights split up might not be the answer.
Yep.
I know they can get caught by a big Raging Sandstorm and maybe it turns around on them, but they need to look for the big combo themselves if they want to try to put this into their hands.
Look at the wave up top. It's a slow push built by Aurora Gaming Philippines, and they go straight for the Lord, so that Alter Ego won't have time to decide whether they want to actually deal with the slow push up top. Now they go on Edward, but he pops in Raven Spider, and the Lord gets reset. Masterful Lord dance by Aurora Gaming Philippines. That slow push, remember how low the turret is up top. Just a few hits and it's gone, and that's why you see Alter Ego desperate to look for a fight, to look for something. They want a commitment, but it's Roro! Oh my goodness, right in the back line fighting it. Blazy doing with a winner crown, not doing any damage, and Appraiser's Wrath as Domeng dives in.
Domeng able to find a kill, but Yue finds one as well. It's a double for Yue.
Nino with the flicker out. Now it's Demon Kai with the chase. It's just he, Jume, and Nino. There's a big cannon wave in the bottom lane crashing down onto Alter Ego's base. Domeng is ridiculous on the Harith, and that's Yue with a Sky Piercer stack, a mega kill, and a wipe out to secure match point.
Once again, it's blow for blow, back and forth. Aurora Gaming take the first, Alter Ego with the second, and now Aurora Gaming is back to help secure match point. Will it happen again, or will it end in the next match?
In Indonesia, it's the Filipinos who get to match point first against Alter Ego. Aurora looked ruthless. And now I understand the Harris pick. That was a confidence pick from